Good old YouTube folks. We're back for our part 2 now of our perfect match coverage here, as we're going to be getting into the second batch, which this consists of episodes 5 through 8, which will be available on good old Netflix come February 21st. So yeah, just in case you just had no clue what perfect match is, again, this is like the I ain't gonna say the rejects, but this is for all the folks, all the personalities who did not find love on their show, or maybe they won their show, whatever it may be, but for whatever reason, all the Netflix personality, all the dating reality shows from the Lachey verse all come together to find their perfect match. The episodes are released by 4 episodes weekly. Yeah. So our first recap is available for episodes 1 through 4, and we're jumping into now 5 through 8, and then we'll be back the following week for the finale, the last 4, which takes us from 9 through 12. But yeah, here we
go. Give me the reunion, because I want the reunion right now. Okay, seriously, like Fran, and just for those of you who may have not watched our first review, I call Francesca Fran for short because I don't got time to be saying her whole name. She ain't shit. Like, she's the like, out of all the shows I've ever watched, and I haven't watched the show that she was on, but oh my God, watching her in this series, she ain't shit. Like,
listen, I'm not gonna defute this one. Like, she's definitely the tyrant on the show, but I'm going to say this right now because I thought about this. I let it rest for a little while. Yeah, marinate. And while she is probably the worst person on the show, Inez ain't too far behind for me. I think. This don't know what you want. It's completely toxic to folks who are really trying to work things with her. And it is a little bit of like a, ooh, shiny toy, ooh, shiny toy, ooh, shiny toy. And she's trying to be serious about it. And I think like Izzy comes in and is very transparent that like, oh, I want to be with somebody else each and every night. So cool. She's actually claiming exactly what her tactic is. While Inez is trying to actually pursue this, like, I really want real love, except I want everybody to want real love with me while I don't know what I want.
she just doesn't know where she wants. But we pick up in episode 4, and the reason why I started with Fran and show was because she actually said, like, I knew as soon as Damien popped up on the board that I wanted to try with him. Meanwhile, actively telling Dom, like, oh, there was nothing there. We've never kissed. Like, ma'am, it don't matter if you guys physically never did anything. The fact that you have feelings for this dude is very apparent. I felt so bad looking at Dom, like looking at him go through all this. And I'm like, yo, my guy is genuinely out here looking for love, trying to get somebody, because, I'm not going to hold you. Dom is very attractive. He's a sweet person. But every now and then I'm like, Dom, what are you doing with this, like, outfit? Like,
chill, bro. Chill.
You know what I mean? But I love him though. But still, nonetheless, yeah, man, Fran ain't shit. And then, Damien is, I'm just so over all of them at this point.
Listen, let's call a spade a spade. Fran has all these dudes wrapped around her finger.
I don't know why.
And there's obviously going to be some casualties to this. I think number one, I don't trust anything she says or does, because even going back into the first batch, so the first 4 episodes, as I said, it seemed like she was very tactical on wanting to win the games. Like, that was personal for her. And I also spoke about Dom having that competitive nature to her. So that aligned for the two of them. And I think that Dom approached her in a way that she was not accustomed to, where she also said she did not want somebody to come at her that way. But then she challenged their sexual compatibility because he didn't, which is like a lose-lose for a guy here. So, like, understanding that, one, she's playing the game, and I ain't saying the game to win this game. I'm talking about like the old school game. She's trying to wrap all these dudes around her finger, chase after her, and at the meantime, she's on the show and she wants to win because she has to be on top of everything here.
But
So
what I don't get is this game has zero, like, you not winning any money with this. Like, there's no trophy at the end of this.
It's like social media.
It's
like social media.
Yeah,
you don't
this is
win
true.
anything on social media, but everybody feels a means to be competitive on it. It's literally that. And I mean, that's what these folks have kind of transformed into. Influencers.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, of course, it's just, we run down that first episode where Bartiz is here, and ironically, I don't know, because of course I watched Bartiz on Love Is Blind, and I didn't realize how aggressive he was. Like, and I'm like, okay, very interesting. Seeing the whole situation with Inez, like you mentioned earlier, Nick is still around, but he's also very like wishy-washy. And so I don't even see, and this is crazy to say this, it's really so crazy to say this, as much as they get on my last nerve, bruh, like Joey and Carousel really just understood the purpose of the show, and they decided that they were going to, even though they knew each other, they came in, they were like, are we going to try this? Do we want to give this a shot to work it out? And they have been going hard ever since. And as we see further on down into the episodes, they decide to be, Joey actually asked her to be his girlfriend. And I'm like,
there's a lot to unpack here. A lot. First of all, let me speak on Bartiz. Bartiz coming from the most recent show in Love Is Blind, which we just got after the altar. So now we really do get a full look at who Bartiz is. Granted, the situation with him and Nancy told a lot, but I think this really shows him in his element. I mean, without a doubt, he's immature, and him and Nancy aren't even a thing. That's not even
a thing.
Regardless of how you want to treat him and look at him and think of him right now, he's on this show, and there has not been a trace of maybe me and Nancy can do anything. Maybe me and Nancy, and that's the freshest couple of this show. So you understand that, like, he didn't come on this show holding anything with that, as we see some folks like Chloe, or even Joey coming back still, so just to put that in the context, and I'm not about to sit here and play savior for this guy, but I'm saying this show completely does expose who he is to me in a fair way, outside of Love Is Blind. I think he's very immature, he's very direct, and like you said, stern, and I think that through his actions and through how he speaks about his emotions and stuff like that, it's just going to take some time for him. He's just young. He's young. He's having fun. I enjoy social media, by the way. I think that, like, him taking his opportunity to grow his platform and his brand, which a lot of these folks done. I'm not mad at that. But in terms of his interaction with dating and stuff like that, completely immature. And I think, like, that's how you blow somebody like Nancy. But at the same time, I was like, okay, what does somebody that isn't like Nancy? Because Nancy's a boss. We'll call it what it is. So how do you come with somebody that doesn't want those certain expectations for you, that may be a little bit challenging for you, where you don't have those? How are you? And then you see this with him and Inez. He's just kind of like, in the wildest way, this may work.
I mean, I'm about to say, but I think that for me, it was how he viewed things. And it's a little dicey, right? Because he makes this comment further on, and he's like, I lifted you up. I picked you up. And I'm like, all right, chill out, my guy. Like, it's yes and no, but not to say it like that. You know what I mean? He fully felt like he somehow wholeheartedly, like, I'm using one of Zaynab's line, wholeheartedly shattered my confidence. So how he wholeheartedly lifted up her confidence or some shit. Like, get out of here, dude.
And I'll be honest, I would not know how to navigate through a statement like that, because you do, as a guy, feel like sometimes, like, hey, I was kind of there for you to lift you up, or I did try to pick your spirit, but I don't want to say, like, I made it happen. I would love to be in the system of, like, saying, like, I was there when you needed, and I just did my best to support you. I didn't build you. You don't owe me. But this right here, and I'm glad you brought this up. This right here was the exclamation point to how unfar he has actually come through his process of Love Is Blind to this. Because while that statement right there is borderline cringe, and Inez has complete and should have be able to just go in there and just really and I just realized, like, why we're talking Love is Blind right here, because we're actually talking about this show right here. Why Inez should have the complete she should be able to express how she feel, period, and feel how she feel.
But this is the first time that we actually really see her speak up. Like, and like, this was the point where you see Inez turning, like, there was a switch that happened for her, and she went hard after this, which I can respect. So I do think that it was interesting
to stand up for herself.
Yeah, absolutely, because she needed to. Part of what she was saying, I'm pretty sure the viewers and everybody at home was thinking the same thing. But, like, you've been friends, and everybody always tells you this. Old folks will always be like, "Oh, you should be best friends first before you turn into lovers." And I'm like, I'm not totally opposed to that, right? But at the same time, there's a fine line, because we see Inez do the friend thing and then have this conversation with Dom later on, and Dom is like, "Well, if you would have told me," and I'm a little worried about that line, not from him, but just in general. It's making me think, because I'm like, why people keep saying that? Like, if you would have told me earlier, like, if you would have felt something earlier, wouldn't you have said something too?
Why I said that shit in middle school. I said that shit in middle school, like, but like, come on now. Yeah. But my last statement about Bartiz is, while all this is being said, and like, again, I fully accept Inez standing up for herself and her taking that moment to really focus on her feelings and putting it out there as she should. Then to talk about their compatibility romantically, and she's saying she's not feeling anything, and he said, "Well, I'm clearly feeling more than you." He's like, "We touch and da 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 da." But then when he gets his interview opportunity, he's like, "Yeah, and clearly, there's other girls hotter than her there, but we just connect on the way." I said, "Oh, that sounds exactly like another person from Love is Blind." That right there, sir, is not that right there gonna get you in some trouble there. We don't gotta say it here, but some people gonna have something to say about that,
some
sir.
People definitely will.
You just dealt with that. You just dealt with somebody you was getting ready to marry, and you pretty much told them, like, "Listen, Nancy, I like you. We connect on a level, but Raven's the type of girl I usually go after. Raven's hot, da 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 da." And then you had another person talking about, like, "Hey, like, I like that girl, but I mean, you're okay." Like,
slippery slope, man.
Can't do that.
Slope. No, you cannot. I just think that Bartiz has definitely just it was a whole lot. But of course, in this first episode, just because we lost Nick and Chase, and I'm not gonna hold you, I really liked, for some weird reason, I liked Chase, like, but I'm not gonna hold
the original villain.
The pet rock was not it for me. Like, the whole, it was. I knew where he was going with that, but that was awful. Like, and of course, Nick is just out here.
Nick was a person that was popular for just being very, I won't say normal, but he was popular for being, I guess, genuine. And once he got the popularity, he started to almost turn into a jock, where he started to say, "All right, well, cool, I'm gonna step on Shane's toes, because fuck it, and I'm just gonna go at whatever goes at me." Like, I'm not gonna say he was out of his league, but he definitely was playing a dangerous game. It burned in his face really quick. And the thing with Chase is just too. It was just not enough time. I'm not saying he needed more time, but it's just his time ran out. He also played a dangerous game as well too, and just saying, like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to everybody," which is not wrong, but like, understanding that, like, got to be a little bit strategical about how you do that, because everybody saw you just coming in trying to shake things up while folks were trying to find normalcy in this crazy storm.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they are showing, I think that the whole game is about vulnerability, honestly, and being open, but it's also not very fun to do that in a world where Francesca exists, because she manipulates the game so much so that whoever, I want to say maybe it was Chloe or maybe not, who liked Chase, and then was like, "Yeah, but Francesca told me, like, you're not a good guy." Right.
Georgia.
Yeah,
so yeah, and I'm glad you brought it up, because it was the whole idea of he saying, like, "Oh, I heard you went on a trip to somebody in Hawaii." So this was interesting, because we didn't get the front end of this conversation on this. so when Georgia and Chase are having this thing, Georgia was right about the first information about like, oh, I heard that you came up with this person, but then went in with this person. I mean, granted, yeah, that's a liability. You want to watch that, but then this very, should we say, unsolicited information that she was given from Francesca, clearly trying to blow people's spots, saying, "Oh, I heard you went to." First of all, she said a lot of things that had nothing to do with the show. I heard you living with somebody. And I heard you went to Hawaii with somebody and was doing TikToks, which I was like, damn, this generation, like, that's what y'all worry about. But still, that's a liability. If you actually think you go, like, if you were going to settle with somebody, you got their Carfax, you're just like, okay, so this person came in and they came in with one person, and then they went with another person, and then the person that brought them in, they say they were the worst kiss, and now I'm hearing all this other stuff that's happening at home. Yeah, this dude seems like a smooth talker here. I don't know about that. She went from Chase to Dom. I ain't mad at her.
She did. I mean, but this is the nature of the beast. They're playing the game, and I get it too, because she's trying to trust her. She's trying to trust her friends, quote unquote, but she's also trying to trust her intuition. I will say that I feel like she does. How we see it play out, it looks like she has way more chemistry with Dom than she did with Chase. However, I will say also that I think the way that they are splitting into packs, right? Like they're splitting off, like it's becoming very high schoolish, very childish almost.
Cliques.
Yeah, the cliques. You know what I mean?
Don't you switch from this without stating the biggest issue right now that I think we're going to find out on our next review, that you got Carousel playing both sides, and how that's a dangerous game that all of us know about. In high school and whatever it is, you can't hang with two fractions. You can't hang with two cliques.
No, so you got to choose one.
And you mentioned Claire, Sarah, and Joy. I love the two of them together, coming in here, getting their stuff in order and getting their relationship formed and being legit. And without a doubt, we know they're strong. They may be the perfect match. But Joey, who is playing the great boyfriend right now, he needs to talk to his girl, because Carousel is messy. She's here for the tea. We're here for the tea, but
every
she has
single
to chill.
time. She has to chill. Tell me, come. I want to know all of it. And it's like, girl, sit your ass down. He needs to be like, babe, mind your business. Like, just let them do whatever. But let's talk about them for a second, because the challenge, the compatibility challenge in this episode was them lining each other up in order from most compatible to least compatible. And I was very interested in how this went down, but not so much. I feel like they didn't, I don't know. I don't think they thought highly of themselves, any of them really, per se. But we will say that Carousel and Joey won. And what was interesting to me was that when they won, they went into the boardroom. They brought a date in for Dom. And then they brought a date in for, who did they bring a date in for? For Dom and...
Was this for Shane here?
Yes, for Dom and Shane.
Yeah.
Because they were still here. So yeah, and it was crazy to me because Carousel says, or I think both of them, Carousel and Joey, they're like, well, we want Dom to find somebody real but I'm wondering if this is after the conversation, as I think it was before the conversation. No, it was before because Carousel and Fran don't really talk until after the fact, because they're like, well, we need to get power. Yeah. And that sort of thing. But listen, I love Dom because my man has played a very authentic, genuine, honest, open game, and just in how he carries himself. So he tells, is this when they bring in Colony? Because that was a shit show.
This is when, if I'm not mistaken, this is what, because, right.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, absolutely not.
Yeah. Colony and Chloe comes in right here. And first of all, I'm going to give it right back to you. But listen, I'm going to say this shit because I'm going to say this shit. Y'all going to stop looking at the board and saying he black, so he need a black girl. Just stop it, because that's what's been happening here. And they look so good together. And granted, don't even try to look into that any deeper, because it's exactly all I'm saying it is. Don't look at him. see somebody black and say they look good together. In
Yeah.
fact, y'all been around both him and Shane long enough that why don't y'all match people that actually buy what they deserve? So you're not wrong with Shane. You say, oh, Shane and Chloe, that actually, I think that actually feels like something. Not wrong. Even when Izzy was brought in, you're not wrong.
Agreed.
Like you say, like I didn't actually have that on my bingo card, but it actually do work. But stop with my man, because listen, right now there's no way.
Listen,
I said I was gonna give it to you. Colony being on this show, that's the end of my statement.
That's it. That was the quickest, and I texted you this while we were watching. I'm like, this is the saddest, quickest in and out that I'm ever gonna see on this show, because I mean, literally,
they played her. They played her.
Like, why would y'all do that to her? Like,
diversity hire. You want me to say that too? Because I will. Absolutely diversity hire here.
Listen, so to me, I just thought it was really just it was a lot. But they have this date, and Dom is very open, like, hey, I suggest you go into the house and enjoy yourself, have fun. Like, go here, have a ball. And I'm like, God damn. And then meanwhile, Chloe and Shane are having this amazing ass like date with body scrubs and whatnot. And you can see, and everybody was right, you can see when they come into the house, you can see Shane light up. But also, we know Shane, he loves a good time. He loves to feel reciprocation. I feel like it's a big thing for him.
Validation's always been his thing. And
absolutely.
And going back to his other girl that he was dating on the show, all she did was taking her insecurities out on him. It was a rough patch, but like Shane is a little bit rough to deal with. We see too.
Yeah. So of course, this was like episode 6, and they have the sponge game, and this is a lot of Bartiz. Yo, he sounded such like one of those. He sounded like one of those fake. Oh my God, anyway, those people on Instagram who always want to give out advice that they shouldn't be giving out. That's what he sounded like in this episode. Although that advice that he gave out to Inez was actually pretty genuine or on point, when he was just like, just think about yourself. For whatever reason, that stuck out to me when he was like, you got to think about yourself. And I'm like, what is this guy? What? All right. Anyway, but we have the sponge game, which is hilarious as hell, because I did not know where that was going when they came out with those outfits.
Joey getting them strokes in.
Joey stated he was getting practicing for later, and he did exactly that, because
not mad at him.
Like, I like Joey. He's authentic. He was one of my favorites on the circle anyway. You know what I mean? His personality is true to who he actually is. Like, he's not even faking it. He's just being genuinely himself. And so, of course, it's a tie happening, because they have to get the balls to rise, and it's Dom and Georgia. And then it's Fran and Damien.
Yeah.
And so let's pause on that real quick. My man Damien, remember when, so this is in the point part 2, when Dom kisses Georgia and Fran sees it, and she's like, oh, we can play that game too, because now I can make out with Damien how I want to make out. And he's like, or you can just make out with me because you want to. Like, he's already seeing this shit, and I'm like, come on,
puppet master. Listen, and at this point, at this very moment, if you had any certainty about where Fran felt about Dom, it ain't got nothing to do with her feelings for him. She just want Dom to be on her. She want everybody to bow to her. But obviously, this is completely manipulative, because poor Damien is now falling casualty to this shit as well too. I don't know how much time we got today, but like, there's some folks out here that need to hear this. Work on your shit before you get out there.
That part. Definitely that part. But okay, so unfortunately, because I was rooting for Dom and Georgia, but Fran and Damien win, and they go on their little date. And even on the date, she's talking about like the boardroom. She's talking about how she wants the control, how she just wants to win so she could, put people apart and this and that. And Damien's like, or you could just be here with me. Like, I'm thinking, poor Damien. Like, this is the second time. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, he just wants to find somebody that loves him. He wants to be all in. And here you are, like, just taking him on a ride. Nonetheless, they bring in Will and who do they bring in?
Mitchell.
Will and Mitchell. And they did that fucked up thing that you mentioned, right? They come back from their date, and only Damien comes back. And
yeah. The whole trying to play that Francesca went on a date. Listen, this is an amazing cliffhanger for the episode. But listen, coming back to the next episode, listen, they just tried to play my man Dom. Dom
they did.
has a lot of composure. Because I can't promise you I would have been just that okay.
Out. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He has multiple times where he could spaz out, but he doesn't actually. And so I think that, yeah, composure. Because remember we talked about this in our first 4 episodes, and it was like, oh, he could spaz at any moment. He looks like he might got some pent up anger. I just think Dom just understands, and he's more focused on really finding somebody versus like, if I give her this attention, he already knows what she finna do with it. And she's getting it from so many other avenues that it's like, I'm not about to do that. She's not worth it. Because she's not. She needs therapy. Like,
maybe more than that at this point. She needs to be checked.
But they put Will and Inez on a date. And it just so happens that Dom is right. Like, this is not a good match. Like, I mean, I saw that even just on the board. Like, oh, he looks like he doesn't take a shower. Inez looks like she'll be into that. And I'm like...
So, I mean, listen now. We already know what's good with this. She completely brought Will on the board because she knows it is a nerve at Dom. That's all this is too.
Yeah, for sure.
They know got nothing about this screams, oh, this is going to work.
Not at all.
Meanwhile, she talking about he attractive too. You peep that?
Yeah, I
talking about how attractive. Oh, but this a minute ago.
For sure.
Look like it don't take showers. So like. It's a lot of foolishness going on in here right now.
Yeah, but this is where we also learn that people can come back because both Nick and Shane are on the board, and I'm sitting here typing what? Because I am flabbergasted that this is what they're doing right now.
Yeah,
but I'm not surprised either because Nick Lachey loves mess and drama, and so
advice for next season. Do not reveal the entire cast. The shock value of who's going to be on the show, I think, provides much more of an entertainment factor than knowing. And the fact that people can be reused, I don't see the excitement in that. Like, yeah, granted, I would like to see Shane come back, but also I would like to see like who else may be there. And there was even a comment when they said Chase. I forget what the comment was, but they tried to compare Chase to Bartiz.
Yeah.
And he said, don't disrespect me like that. But he said, oh, what if she comes back in here? What if she comes back in here with a guy that's light-skinned with a beard, but like smaller than you? Oh, you're talking about Bartiz. So you knew this and you tried to display both of them. Like,
right.
Make it a shock factor. At the beginning, when we were hearing people talking about, oh, it'd be really nice if somebody like Nick and Shane was here. Oh, what do you know? They're both here. Oh, surprise.
Yeah. I mean, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't very but nonetheless, I put that Fran and Damien are trash for making that jab at Dom because, and I would have given Damien some slack, but like, nah, my God, like you're trash. But nonetheless, Chloe and Inez get dates, like we said, we see that. So, and I didn't know this, but Chloe and Mitchell had dated for 6 months. They broke up. Now she's basically telling Shane that she's got to see where this can go. So she's saying, like, this is what it is. And Will and Inez get the date, and Nick is out of here, and it just happens just like that. So or no, not Nick. I'm sorry, Bartiz, because Inez was like, yeah, there's no spark here, but I, and I said this in via text. I just don't feel like Inez has any sexual anything about her. Like she seems fairly boring to me. And also she got on the Monica's, so I'm not really sure like how I feel about her whole.
Yeah, that fondue date was trash. Will definitely seemed uninterested off break. They had no chemistry together. Inez is somehow, some way still in this game, and it's confusing to me.
Very much so, because seriously, who has connected with her in a way enough to keep her? Has she gotten?
and listen, and that's I'll take it here. But Bartiz saving her absolutely was a solid when you look at it now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A complete solid here.
For sure it was. I mean, he knew what he was doing, and maybe he felt a little something, but I don't feel like he felt enough, you know. But we have this kind of like moment where they talk. That's what I was talking about in reference to him saying, like, you know, it's all about, you know, I lifted you up. And she's like, let me tell you something, you know, I'm not feeling nothing. But like I said, she's not I don't get sexy, sensual, anything vibes from her. So she really needs to figure out what the hell she wants and what it is, because at this point, this was the episode when everything turned into a shit show, quite frankly.
Just to add a little bit more to what your statement is saying too. Yeah, listen, it's weird that somebody that's not giving much sexual energy is telling somebody about a connect. It's telling them like, oh, you don't really like me.
That's
what
like,
I do, like, you know,
right.
Like, and so fine, whatever their compatibility is at this point. Ma'am, you still don't know what you want, because God, we see who you going after right next after this. So let's go down the list. There was a Shane, there was a Nick, there was a Bartiz. Was it somebody else beforehand? Who was she with before that? Or is that it?
I think that was it. But she had the date with Will.
And then Will.
But I think that was it.
And now one more to go on your list, as you mentioned, I wish you had said something clause. But either way, ma'am, you're on a dating show and you're not, and like, while everyone's actively looking for something, why does it still seem like you're that odd Tetris piece that just hasn't landed correctly?
I mean, yeah, that's what I would give it. I would definitely say that. But, you know, I feel like this was, yeah, she just sticks out. Like, she doesn't, what was she on again? I don't remember, but I don't know how they chose her for this game. It doesn't seem to fit very well. But, you know, this is where we have that, where I thought that Fran and Damien were going to be back on the boardroom. And that's in that second game, or the other game that comes on like episode 7, I think, which was the cringe or cute game. And thankfully they lose, but I'm not even sure like how I feel, but whatever. And then Will and Inez are like on a date. It's so awkward. All of it is so awkward. Like, she has zero sexual vibes with this guy. And then he starts talking out the side of his neck because now he wants to manipulate the game, like how he's a friend, basically. And
well, no, because she's a tyrant. She's truly trying to manipulate the game. As I mentioned in our first review, he's coming from a game, the mole. So he automatically knows the mindset, which is so genuine about Dom. He comes from the same show and he has not played the game. He's just truly trying to find somebody. But as Dom said, he doesn't trust Will. Will makes it super obvious as to why.
But they squashed their beef. They have a moment. He was like, I really dig you, bro. Like, you should get a fair chance, whatever. You know, let's start fresh. And then he turns around and he slaps Dom in the face by putting Dom. No, he puts Georgia right on a. No, he does choose Dom to go on a date. He goes on a date with Diamond from Love is Blind.
Love is Blind. Yeah. Love is Blind. Yep.
And,
season 1.
And then he gives. And then Inez chooses Francesca, which is a chess move, and puts her on a date with Abby. And so while we have all of this happening, you know, it's a hot ass mess. Like, it's.
Ma'am, you better not try to just skip over this Abby thing. Like, it's just
no. I wasn't skipping over that, but it's a hot ass mess. So of course Abby is from, what was that show they called?
20 something.
Oh yeah, 20 something. It's literally called 20 something. Oh my god. Anyway, so Abby is here. Abby is a woman, and obviously by the name, and goes on a date with friends. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, this is another cliffhanger. Here's my issue with what happened here. Okay, Inez and Will, who wins the game, clearly has no type of chemistry. from A to Z. No chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And they get on this board, and they get in the boardroom, and they clearly can't even agree on anything.
But this is also when we find out Nick meets them in the room, and this is when they have individual picks. It wasn't like they did last time. So previously they had to agree on both people. Whereas this time, and I think that's fucked up.
I think the producers called in and said, we need to make an audible here. They're just not working. We need them to be individual. It's a variation to something that should have been standard for no reason. There's no reason why in the middle of episode, what is this, probably 7?
This is 7, yeah.
No reason for them to say, hey, we need to change the rules. Unless because they just really couldn't agree. And obviously, I was like, man, we were going to end up picking somebody for himself, but I think they couldn't even agree on that. So.
I thought so too. I really thought that was what was going to happen because obviously Will and her are not feeling it. And I'm thinking to myself, if there's anybody who should get a date, it's one of them two for sure. And nope, they ended up picking Fran and matching her with Abby. And listen, at this point, I think this is a little bit of too hot to handle for Fran. So she's kissing all over everybody. She's been kissing everybody since episode 1.
I will say this. Now, this is pandering on this show now. This is complete pandering. Now that this has become an element, and it's not to say that Francesca was not very open about her sexuality here, but that was very early because in terms of like establishing who Francesca is, coming from Too Hot to Handle, which we know, Francesca's wow. She says, I go after whatever I want. I do whatever I want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And she's pulling tampons out of people's vaginas. But understand while that's happening, there's also a bit of honesty coming out from another department here where you have Carousel and Joey, and Carousel talking about her past and what his family accept is, as she becomes very open and upfront about her sexuality, as she says she is queer, as bisexual, as her previous relationship with a girl. Listen, Carousel has been completely vulnerable this entire time. She's been through the ropes, but it's working out for her. And then I thought it's super odd that the moment that Carousel starts to talk about sexuality, then we get this first same-sex relationship going on here. And I was just like, the conversation and the pick timing seems completely pandering to me here. And I'm gonna call what it is, because as I mentioned, whenever there's a chance, they say, oh, somebody black on the board, put somebody black with them. Oh, here we go again. Who's Dom on a date with?
Yeah.
Okay. Rest my case.
Yeah, this is facts. This is facts. And of course, you know, so Dom and Diamond do get their date, and Fran and Abby get their date.
He called the same play to her too, by the way.
He definitely did. Hey, you know what? I'm in here. I'm with somebody, and I think you should go in this house and mingle and have fun and find somebody for yourself. And you can't do anything outside of respect his honesty. And let me tell you, as a woman who is in the dating world, I 100,000% would appreciate a man doing that versus ghosting me or lying. Like, it's real simple, because especially at over 35, it's like, do you not feel like I've been rejected before? Or just somebody saying they're not interested? It's totally fine. I did not die. I have not melted. But like, people do not, please, for anybody who's watching the show, the guys, take some fucking notes. And I don't remember how old Dom is, but I feel like he's still in his 30s.
Yeah, and listen, I'm gonna
in
add
his 20s rather.
I'm gonna add just a little. He's 30 years old exactly.
He's 30.
Yep.
He's
Don
wise.
Gabriel, Toronto, Canada. The one thing I will say is I appreciate his transparency as well too, because it gives both people an opportunity to be honest in this situation. What I don't understand is why he keeps getting sent on dates. Can't y'all see he's already established? Y'all sitting there all this politicking about what's good and what's good, and y'all already know he good. Y'all literally just seen it happen the first time with Colony. Why would you even try it again? I don't understand. I really don't understand.
That's something that Joey said. Remember, Joey said, I want us to get in the boardroom because I'm tired of seeing people go out on dates when you know that they're not going to go on the date. Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, round of applause for Joey, because definitely he's making sense. And it's just like, why do y'all keep sending these people out on dates when they've already made a match? And now Dom has taken it to the Joey level. That's what I'm calling it now, the Joey level, where he's like asking Georgia, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I love it for them. Like, and quite frankly, I wish that there was an option that once you ask somebody to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend, that you could leave the house. Because I think the whole purpose, if that was the true purpose of the show, if that's what it was designed to do, was to help you get into a relationship and find your person, you should be able to say, all right, I'm out. The show worked for me. I found somebody, I want to try this, and then boom, that's it. Now you still got me in here, and it's a potential that you won't put me on a date with somebody else for the last 4 episodes? Like, for what? Like, what's the point in that?
Yeah.
0 cents. Like, Nick Lachey, take some fucking notes, my guy. Like, do better. So of course, ironically, in a twist of events, Will ends up asking Diamond to match with him, right?
Listen, there's nothing odd about this. That's my statement.
Really?
There's nothing odd about this. I will say, shall I elaborate just a little bit more here?
Just a little bit. I want some.
This is absolutely fantasy booking right here. This is 1,000% by Diamond's statement of saying, like, she starts describing his physique and all this other stuff. She's only saying what she's only fantasized about. Do I need to even go on the other side for you to understand this? And you're a black woman, so you've known people has looked at. I worship my black queens. Don't even ever get that wrong. But I do it in a respectful way, uplifting, and so the appropriate way to just end that statement. And I know there are folks that glorify you in a way and worship you in a way that I don't need to know about. And I literally think that was him looking like, man, like, she's beautiful, and I may never get an opportunity like this. And I've always dreamed of an opportunity.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
The way, and I mean, let me not shit him for real, but he did come completely sincere to her. He did approach her completely honest. And I looked at it, I said, in the wildest way, that shit works. I'm sure the attraction is instantly there, and mentally they probably played it in her head. Like, man, I would definitely.
But here's the
chick
thing,
like that, or vice versa.
What I've always been doing since we started this show is that I've been watching, like, how people interact when they get into the rooms, and Diamond was on the edge of the bed with the cover over her, while, like, Will was laying on the other side, extremely comfortable, because he just had on shorts, but a pillow in between him. But she still has some, like, what's that word?
Reserve?
Yeah, there we go. She still has some reserve about it, which is totally fine. But I'm just interested to see what that looks like in the next episode. But
she's a grown woman too, by the way. She's 31, and she already dealt with that BS with that dude Carlton. So let it be known. Yeah, she not slight in these streets. That's for sure.
She ain't doing that. I love me some Diamond. But so of course, let's get into the nitty gritty of this last episode, right? Your girl Carousel talking to Inez. She gave her, I wrote it down too, right? Because I was like, ain't no way. She was like, because if you don't say anything to Dom, she's like, you know who you've been feeling? You've been feeling Dom the whole time. I don't know why you ain't saying nothing. Why you ain't saying nothing? Like, are you a weak bitch? Listen, I'm not going to hold you, right? If somebody does that to me and gets me that type of conversation, there's a very high chance, if I'm not, like, thinking straight, that I'm going to go over there and have this conversation. Because you call me a weak bitch. What you mean? Are you a weak bitch? You a tough bitch, right? I'm like, I'm
gonna need Carousel's homies to come get in the comments right now and tell me how many times you've been clapped up because you done took her advice. Because you would get fucked up by doing this exact same thing to the wrong person. But she hyped galore. I mean, she probably bombing shit in the casino. You're like, listen, man, just put it on that number, bro. I got you. She has such a good personality that this infectious energy that she has to motivate you to do something. It seems harmless, but this shit's toxic, bro, because she just continues to be in other people's advice, trying to be positive when you actually think about what it is that they're doing, it really isn't. Like, when she made that statement about, like, when Francesca went on a date and Damien was kind of left like, oh man, well, whatever. and he was making it. I think it was her he was talking to, and he was just saying like,
Yeah.
"Man, you don't know who could be on there. Next, anybody could go on there. It could be Joey, bruh. Don't try to smooth this situation over like it's okay, knowing damn well that it ain't gonna be Joey. It ain't gonna be you ever. You literally are talking, setting people up for failure. Here she go again. Couple of scenes later, go get Dom. You've been feeling him since day one. It's not that you haven't been feeling everybody else on here, but like, go get him. It's okay. And again, fuck around with the right one. What if Dom was dating Diamond?
She was gonna get hurt. That's a fight off Bucks. That's a fight. But I mean, but Georgia had every right, and I will say again, giving Dom his kudos. He was like, after they had the conversation, he went to Georgia and he was like, "Listen, you know, Inez told me she had feelings for me, and you know, it was a very awkward conversation to have, but and rightfully so. Who was over there with her? Chloe was with them, and you know, she was like, I feel like we were supposed to be friends. Like, why wouldn't you tell me first?
Yeah. I don't think there's no weight to that. I don't.
No, none whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, Inez ended up matching with Damien.
Yeah. Wait, was it Damien? Yeah.
Yes, and that awkward ass kiss, that desperate ass kiss that Damien gave her, because it was a desperate kiss on his part and was desperate on her part for receiving it as well. Like, let's be very clear. Like, there's an unfortunate, you know, I get that Damien is also like, he had been focused solely on Francesca coming into the house. So yeah, maybe he should explore his options. But I'm just like, are these options really real right now? Not really sure about that. But then we have, and the reason why Inez is matched with Damien, for those of you who are following, is that because Francesca matched with Abby.
Yep. And what's the other parents there? Joey and Carousel.
Joey and Carousel.
Dom and Georgia.
Dom and Georgia. Will and Diamond. Inez and Damien. Chloe and Mitchell.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this.
Oh, let's talk about that dumbass. First of all, ma'am. Okay, and I'm talking to the women.
Let's paint the whole picture here, because Chloe was with Shane and it was good. Shane now loses his girl. Bartise now loses his girl. Both of the Love Is Blind dudes are sitting there like, oh man, this is as blind as it get here.
Yeah.
And Chloe goes out with her ex and Mitchell because they set him up. This also is a situation where she gets an opportunity to add closure or getting some clarity, and she went the route that I really didn't think she was going to go, because Mitchell did what he did best. He came in there, played his cards, and got back in there, got food her. Got him, her ass, her ass, and you know, we'll talk about the last moments of the four in a second, but like, so and I'll give it to you. They fast forward to the point that they do match. She got what she needed to confirm that like there was still unfinished business, and they match to the point that now Shane sees it, so he knows he's done. And then Bartise didn't get Inez, so he knows he's done. So they're sitting by the pool, kind of chilling. This is fucked up. I can't even believe they even added this in here. But Mitchell is aware that Shane's still down there. They get into a pool. He splashes all that water onto him.
They jump into the pool, splashing Shane and Bartise. Absolutely, I would have went upstairs and knocked his ass out.
For sure. A lot of people with some good composure, because I wouldn't have took that disrespect. But also, while Mitchell does it, and it seems right on par with Mitchell's personality, Chloe also abetted in this, which tells me that you didn't have no feelings for Shane, because you wouldn't even have done that. Yeah, there's been absolutely people that I have not been interested in, but I wouldn't do any harm, or I wouldn't try to purposely hurt them, even though I'm not interested, or I decide to go with another option here. Like, that was malicious.
It was not just malicious. It was just a shitty thing to do as a human being. And Mitch, I hate this dude, and I don't hate him like for real hate him, but I hate that he came in and he was this dude. Like, and it's crazy because again, people wanted to call my man Chase a villain, and literally he was nothing compared to Mitchell, Francesca, and Inez. It's like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here? But Mitchell, before she had the conversation with Shane, she asked him, or Chloe asked him, whether or not he was serious and he was ready. And literally she said, well, I don't want to make the wrong decision because it sounds like you're going to come in the house and you're going to want to go on dates and I'm going to want to be with you.
Yeah, not to mention that Shane also went to Chloe and says, listen, like, me, listen, Shane is a monogamous dater. He wants his one person. That's all it is. And he says, you had the opportunity to prove that we were going to be together, and you go in there and you start kissing and whatnot. And like, he's very short. I ain't going to say short tempered, but short sparked, essentially. Kind of so. Yeah, because this is kind of like, all right, forget it. I'm out. I'm done. I did it with Inez. He did it now here. And like, granted, this one's warranted because, like, you proved to me that you want to do this, and then you go in there and completely just betray me. Then she plays victim because she goes and cries and says, I never wanted to hurt nobody. Okay.
And I hope I'm making the right choice. Listen, let me tell you something.
And then you go splash him. You literally go splash
a woman, right? You can feel there's something. She wasn't trusting her gut because then her dumbass is ended up right where she didn't want to be. And now she's saying to herself that when they go into the boardroom, because this is their date and we don't know what's happening right now. Or is this their date? Yeah, this is their date, right?
Which one? Chloe and Mitchell?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so she's saying
the painting thing, and Oh, which one? Because
the second one.
Oh yeah, when they win because they won the blind thing. The blind and the blocks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they get the date and whatnot, and
she's like, if Shane is on the board, I'm bringing him back, and I'm like,
well, she basically said, if Shane's not on the board, then I'm screwed.
And she's not on the well. She actually says if she's not on the board, she's gonna take herself out the game. That's what she said. She was like, I'm gonna take myself out the game.
I don't know if I heard it that way, but if it is, it is. But like, because she understood once Mitchell laid down his final his final trump card. Once he had the big joker in his hand and says, "Out." First of all, Mitchell is a player. They talked about kids. They talked about all these things, and he was just like, "Yep," but I ain't trying to be in nothing serious. That's what I thought. I thought that's what you talking about when she said that. Oh my God! If Shane's not on the board to bring back, then I'm screwed essentially because Mitchell is about to go do his own thing. Yeah, you played yourself, but listen, Listen, I need Shane to come back because I need a win here. I need Shane to come back and completely hold her accountable for that decision. No second chances here. You got to send you got Splash, my guy. You got to dog her here. You got to dog her. You have got to lure her in, make it seem like you're going to do it, and Inez, all of them.
I don't even want that. I just want him to be like, no, you had the opportunity to choose me and you didn't, and that's that. Because Shane deserves much better, and he doesn't deserve to be second fiddle. Because what they had was supposedly authentic in the beginning, and it's literally and here's the thing.
They were vibing. They definitely were vibing.
I hate this because I know I might get some clap back for this, but for the women who have grown and have done healing and understand what I'm about to say, it's true. Listen, she said it out her own mouth. She was like, this is a test to see whether or not I'm over you or whether or not I'm ready to move on. This is what it is. This is literally what it looks like. It looks like this is the test. It's in front of you and it's saying, I took you out of something because it wasn't good for you. Now I'm putting it back in your face. Are you going to do the same shit again or are you going to make a different decision? And so now she's going to be crying to her girls in the next episode because she chose wrong. And where's Carousel now?
There's gonna be some shit going down.
Yeah.
Are we done with this talk before I kind of project about what to come?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. What's your predictions?
Listen, there's gonna be some things to come here. Here's how I see this. Francesca's gonna get jealous because you done laid so many seeds. You're gonna see Dom in that direction. You're gonna see Damien in that direction. Jealousy. Chloe also gonna see Mitchell doing his thing. Jealousy.
With who though? I'm interested to see where that's gonna go.
I don't know. Inez still there.
And in the previews that they gave us, it looks like they're bringing everybody back.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do this and why they're gonna do this, but here we go. And like I don't know, man.
They like mess.
I think as we think about predictions for the next batch, I think when you think about the perfect match, I think you have to think Dom and Georgia and Joey and Carousel. But I think Carousel is something is going to blow up in her face because much like all these games, when Love is Blind or the Circle, it just seems like the good people finish last all the time. And you can't try to be likable because it won't have you win. You have to just be genuine. If her and Joey stays out the way and just made out on the couch each episode, they'll win. It's not even a question. Francesca's done. She's done. There's a receipt that needs to happen. And honestly, you talk about who? I mean, we talked about the little bit of a preview, and I'm not really big on previews, but you talk about a little bit of the preview here. Oh, don't forget that Francesca comes in. She brings in Abby. Abby's whole little montage, a little vignette that she get. She says whoever she wants, she wants. Yeah. Don't forget, she's also bi, and she also may come in there and want to play. This is all new to her. So
I did see her sitting with who was that? I think it might have been Will. I don't know. I'm interested to see how all this is going to play out, to be quite frank. I'm just saying that I hope that till the end, Joey and Carousel make it and Dom and Georgia make it. Those are the two solids. Everybody else is in the air, and I don't know how they're going to land.
Yeah, everybody coming back is going to be wild, even though for whatever reason Colony has to come back. I don't get it.
I feel for her.
It will be completely interesting on what happens with Colony.
Zay, Bartiste.
I also have
and
a feeling.
Sophie.
I mean, let's throw some wild card predictions here. I think Francesca might make a play at Carousel, and I think that's the master manipulative plan to really mess up things. Like the one relationship that doesn't have any doubt. Why not create it? Why not create some issues, you know, for the women who have not shown up on the board yet? What does it look like for them? It's the end of the game. Desperation to try to make something work. Let's also not forget the other thing. Francesca and what she says, she has an eye for Will. She had an eye for Will. She's not done. And I also think that there's going to be some other interesting things. There's going to be some guy talks. There's going to be some accountabilities. There's going to be some interesting things kind of going on here. But I think that the next four, as we're back next week for, it's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun. I just don't know.
I'm ready for the finale and the reunion because I just want some people to call out some people. I want Shane specifically to call out Francesca and Inez and Chloe, and I want Dom to call out Francesca and Will. I mean, that might happen in the next 4 episodes, honestly. So I'm wondering what the reunion can give us that, you know.
Yeah, don't forget Damien still says that Francesca he likes as a 10. So anybody he's dealing with right now is wasting his time. Inez gonna have to fight an uphill battle to even try to win that. And yeah, you talking about people calling people out. Yeah, I'm gonna need Shane to also call out Nick as well too, and stepping on his toes and kind of just very quietly just letting that go. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm ready to get to the next one. We'll see how it plays out.
I'm excited.
We'll see how it plays out. Well, I'll end the show for us, folks. It is Miss Amaya Desire, and I'm Najir. We will be back for the final 4 episodes of Perfect Match. While we do not know whether there'll be a reunion or after or whatnot, because they usually do a type of thing like that. We'll see. We're rooting for it, but it's going to get wild. And for the folks who checked out the first one and now for this one, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let us know your predictions, who y'all think going to win this all, whatever bit of drama y'all got. Let us hear it about Francesca because there should be nothing positive to say. So y'all better get down there and get crazy. the true villain, the Joker of this, like the true villain.
Absolutely.
Anywho, folks, thank y'all for tuning in for this one. We'll see y'all back next week.
Big gold bell,